This video demonstrates how to assign our table data by row to our record ID, order ID, flavor, and size string variables. So far, we've programmed our bot to gather the raw data from our text file and assign the raw data to our table variable. And now we're looping through our table variable one row at a time. Our next steps need to remain inside of our loop. As we loop through the data one row at a time, we want to assign the data from that row into the appropriate variables. The next 3 videos will be out of sequence from the case instructions so that each video can demonstrate how to assign the data by variable type, string, number, and then variables that require manipulation. Recall, string variables are variables that are typically used to categorize data. String variables can include letters, numbers, symbols, or any combination of these characters. For our case, our string variables that do not need to be manipulated, meaning that the raw data can be directly assigned from the data table into the string variable, are record ID, order ID, flavor, and size. We're going to assign the data to strings using the string option on the actions menu. To find the string option, go ahead and first click to close our loop menu, and then navigate down the actions menu until we find the string option. We can open up the string option by clicking one time, and we can see all of the actions that we could perform under the string option. We're going to begin by assigning record ID, read from the row of data, into the record ID variable. To do this, we're going to double click on assign to move the assign command to the workbench. As we can see, it didn't make it into our loop, but that's okay because again, it is very easy to move commands around a workbench. Go ahead and click and drag it up into the loop. Now that we have the assign command both on our workbench and inside of our loop, we can go ahead and configure this command. We do this by first identifying the place where the bot will find the data that we'd like to assign, the string that we'd like it to assign. So we can go ahead and click on the X that's inside the parens, and then we're going to click on the drop-down menu to select our variable, and in this case we're going to use the row variable. Recall, we're reading the data out of the table one row at a time, and the row categorizes columns by index numbers. So the index number 0 corresponds to the first column of data. Since record ID is in the first column of data, we're going to leave the index number at 0, and we're going to click yes and insert. In the select destination string variable, we're now going to use the variables that we created earlier on. So we're going to use the drop-down menu, and we're going to select our S record ID string. We can go ahead and click apply. Now, we can do one of two things. We can repeat this process 3 more times to assign the remaining string variables out of our row. Or we can flip over to the list view where we see all of our commands just in a shortened format. We can go ahead and click one time on the string assign command, and then we can use the control copy or control C and control paste or control V functions to create 4 more identical assignments. We need to reconfigure each of these. So now we're going to start by reconfiguring our second assign command. Here we're looking to assign it to order ID. Order ID is in the second column of our row, so we're going to go ahead and use our delete key to remove the 0 and type in 1. And then we're going to select our order ID when it's time to select the destination string variable. We can go ahead and click apply, and we'll see the command change. We're going to repeat that process now for the flavor variable. And so the flavor variable is in the 5th column, which means that we're going to delete the 0 and replace it with 4 because that would correspond to our 4th index. And then we're going to also change the variable that it's going to be assigned to be the flavor string. Go ahead and click apply. And then let's change our last one. Here, size is in the 6th column of data. So we're going to want to go ahead and change that index number to 5, and then change our variable assignment to be size, and we're going to go ahead and click apply, and then we're going to click on save.